you are. It's the mighty yet humble
Jill Eckersley.
Jill Eckersley and Terry Eckersley. Jill is actually now our housing support executive. Give it up for Jill. Come on, that's a good title.
Wow. What a title. Yeah,
We've
amazing.
also got in the studio with us, we've got the mighty Bev, who starts on the 1st of November, and Bev is our housing development manager. Give it up for Bev.
Wow.
Come on, amazing.
Very
amazing.
exciting.
And we've also got our registered social worker and board member, trustee, director, the mighty Paul. Give it up for Paul.
Come on, Paul. Fantastic.
The humble yet mighty. Everybody are humble and mighty here, aren't they? We fit in. That's why we're a tribe, isn't it? That's why we're a tribe. So welcome. What we wanted to do tonight was just to help new staff integrate and train and develop. We're just going to share the whole process of River Network Housing. How you apply or referred, then interview, and then what you get, support, you can say rights and responsibilities, being with us, working towards move on, and everything we are and do. Think of that, Jill.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Great. Well, first of all, if you go to rivernetworkcharity.org.uk/housing, you can then get a bit of information, but then there's an application form. There's a drop-down box application if you live within the Derbyshire Dales District Council. This is not going. This is all transitional because, of course, the new Unitarian Council or bi-councils coming in. There's going to be 2 councils in Derbyshire and the High Peaks. There's currently 10. It's going to be reduced to 2: a North Derbyshire and a South Derbyshire. But for now, we've got 10 councils, and we're within the Derbyshire Dales District Council. So if you're within there, if you live at Ashbourne, Matlock, Bakewell, can you name any other places that are within Derbyshire Dales? Chesterfield's not Derbyshire Dales.
Sorry, not Chesterfield.
Tideswell.
Yeah, Tideswell's in it.
Yeah, places like that. Ashbourne, that's within it. But they're all there on our website. If you live within the Derbyshire Dales District Council, you can just apply via a drop-down box. Very, very simple. If you're out of area, if you're not in Derbyshire Dales District Council, there's a referral form that you can self-refer or get somebody to refer for you, a support worker, probation officer, health worker, etc., etc., etc.
I was just thinking, as you saying where people go to apply, I think it might be good to let people know who is eligible to apply, because we have rules around who is able to be within our accommodation. So I just thought it might.
Well, we're going to. Yeah, it is good. That's what we're doing. Talking it out.
Okay.
So yeah, if you are on benefits, basically, you need to be needing support, homeless, risk of homelessness, need somewhere to stay. You need to be in receipt of universal credit with limited work capability, or PIP, etc., etc. If you're getting benefits, you need to be eligible for housing benefit, which will pay the majority of your rent. And the other rent is like £54.16 a month. I was going to say about that. That's what it specifically is. Good on figures. I'm good on figures. Look at the woman I married. So yes, so that is the eligibility criteria. And then what you'll do, we will get the application and we'll start to process it.
Indeed.
So we'll get it and process it. If you are in Derbyshire Dales District Council, we'll look at the application. If your support needs are not too high, we'll then offer you an interview, and we'll say, bring to the interview proof of benefits and proof of ID. Birth certificate, proof of ID, or passport, or driving licence, proof of benefits. Most people have got it on the phone, on the portal.
Indeed.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, the accommodation that we've got at the moment is shared accommodation. You get your own room, really to a high standard. We've just had them upgraded, painted, carpets, amazing properties, Victorian style, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You'll get your own room with a shared bathroom and a shared kitchen.
Indeed, yeah, absolutely.
Really, really good. Level of support, you will get, you're meant to get 1 hour support a week, but you get a lot more than that. And a good way of doing it, what we found is, because we do life skills training, support, team, family, leadership training, all in a lot of different forums, but on a Thursday night or on a Friday night, we'll do that, and we'll have a meal, we'll do food prep. So it's all about life skills, building, training and all that. Then within that forum, we've got like a support surgery where anybody can ask for support, or anybody we've identified that specifically we need to have a chat with, we can have a chat with them in the office.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have access to an online emergency phone for emergencies only.
Absolutely.
We're not there for a cup of sugar or a little LOL emojis chat. If there's any serious emergencies, you can contact us. Otherwise, apart from that, we'll see you on that weekly session.
Yeah, and we do some obviously practical things there with having a meal, but at the moment we're doing a course with one of our residents that's leading that. But we also, because you may not realise, but not everybody in life gets the memo of how to clean up. It's a shocking thought, isn't it, for most ladies to think that. But not everybody's had a family background or has been taught how do I actually keep my property clean? How do I keep things clean? What do I do? So when you're part of a shared house, everybody has a responsibility to keep that house looking clean and acceptable for everybody else. So you've got your own area that you look after, but also to come together. So we have a little session for each house with that.
Housekeeping, training and development. We do it in one of the properties on a Wednesday at 10 a.m. So we do a spring clean or a winter clean or a clean, and it's a bit of a social as well. At the end of that, we have a bacon sandwich or butty, depending on if you come from a council estate like me, it's a butty. If you come from where Jill comes from, it's a sandwich. So it's a bit social as well. It's fun. Everything we do is fun and upbeat and positive. And then at another property, we do that on a Thursday, exactly the same. And our amazing Carol, one of our senior residents, not senior in age, but in authority and responsibility, she oversees both of those with Jill. So that's great. Also, I forgot to mention, we do have a disciplinary procedure. And we're very big on when people first move in, we say this up front. We're very clear about it. We do not tolerate drugs at all. We're zero tolerance to drugs.
Yeah.
There's no alcohol in the properties. The safe places, safe spaces. We've got a strict curfew, 12 o'clock midnight.
Yeah.
If you're after then, you turn into a pumpkin, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
And that's what we're really big on. And no antisocial behaviour, because they've got to be safe spaces where people can grow and develop. People get healing and support on the journey towards move on, which I'll talk about in a bit. So we have a strong disciplinary procedure. If people breach a curfew or antisocial behaviour, or in particular drugs, Class A's, even weed, we come down on it sharp. We just evicted somebody last week for that, didn't we? 2 weeks ago.
We did.
For all of the above, breaching curfew, antisocial behaviour, and they'd been arrested for drugs with intent to supply, weed. But so we're very, very strict on that, and people know that up front. Now, within that structure, you've got a safe environment where people can grow and develop and train and do well and do different things, you know, and we try and get people, we meet people where they're at and help them at the speed they can go at to develop. That's what I like saying. You know, because I'd like everybody to be doing voluntary work a little bit, everybody to doing a course. But not everybody's at that, and they're at where they're at because they're vulnerable people who have had some horrendous past, like me.
Yeah.
But then you can overcome an horrendous past, and that's what we're there to help people. So it's like, and I think a good example to give is, and we're not mentioning names, challenges we've had somebody recently with antisocial behaviour, that we've had antisocial behaviour in the past, and then eviction notice, we gave them 4 weeks eviction notice. They managed to play ball not do antisocial behaviour, not get hammered, not cause a nuisance.
Yeah.
And because he'd done that and stuck to that, we rescinded it, so we didn't evict them.
Yeah.
But for people, we can evict immediately on licence agreements, not tenancies. And we have, and we will evict immediately to save other people.
Absolutely.
And,
Yeah.
you know, we just can't tolerate it. The police don't tolerate it, we don't tolerate it, and other people should not have to tolerate that. So we tell people that right up front, so they know that all the way.
No, otherwise people evict themselves due to their own choices and behaviour.
Instead of a tenancy.
Okay, I'll explain that. Good question, Paul. A licence agreement basically is, with a tenancy, they're assured short-haul tenancies, and it's when you've got your own space to yourself, and it's directly you. And with that, the tenant has got a lot of rights and responsibilities. For example, if people are on tenancies and you want to evict them, you've got to give them 2 months' notice. Then they don't need to go.
I think that's just changed, hasn't it?
has.
To 4 months.
It's just changed to 4 months now
Yeah.
with this new Renters' Rights Bill. But it was 2 months, now it's 4 months. But then if people didn't want to go, they don't go, then you've got to take them to court. Then if a judge says you've got to go, and they still don't go, then you've got to get bailiffs. So it's a long, drawn-out process. And that's okay for tenants and tenancies and tenants' rights, I understand all that. But when you're in shared accommodation, that's when it's a licence, because you get a licence just to that room and to the shared space, and everybody's on licences. And they're good and the best, because what happens if you've got to evict somebody who's threatening everybody, they're running around with a knife, and they're taking Class A drugs, and they're not paying the rent? That's when you need licences. So that's the difference between a licence agreement and a tenancy. There's a lot of other stuff, but within the licence agreement, you've got, you know, house rules, like you have in a tenancy anyway. So that's the difference between a licence and a tenancy. Anything else we need to talk about that?
I think that's all I can think of for now.
Yeah, and it's all about what we do is helping people build a future and helping them move on. And when people have been with us 6 months, then they move on to the local housing options register, if you like, and they can start bidding for somewhere in the beautiful Derbyshire Dales.
Yeah.
And we've moved 3 people on.
We have. Absolutely.
Amazing properties like stone cottages, beautiful flats, amazing. We've helped them get white goods, we've helped them get carpets. They're doing great. We've just had a guy moving over today.
Yeah.
Will. So even in 2 years, we've moved 3 people on positively. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And these people, well, all of them, all 3, come from really horrendous backgrounds. I mean, the first guy, we took over the properties, and one guy, prolific drug user, police knew him, he was out begging, he was nearly half dying. We took over the properties, and really quickly, and miraculously I'd say, he turned around, he got on a methadone script, he wasn't begging anymore, and he got involved through service user involvement. We always give people opportunity to get involved, to help lead. He was doing some painting and decorating and doing amazing. And we showed his photo in a press release to the local council, and they could not believe it was him. They're like, wow, is that the same guy? Is that him? He was like notorious. And now he lives in a beautiful stone cottage in Bakewell. Another guy, beautiful stone place in Tideswell.
Yeah.
And a third guy, You'll And we've helped them all get all brand new white goods, everything. And this is when we didn't even have a bigger, wider team than we've got. I don't mean large people, I mean wider team, as in numbers. Yeah.
And sometimes people are going to be with a short time, and sometimes people, I think, do benefit from being in a shared accommodation, because not everybody wants to live on their own, and it's not really time for them to live on their own, maybe because of a health issue. They do need the support of perhaps, knowing that someone else is in the property, that if they needed a friendly chat or something like that. Other people, yeah, that's fine. It's time for them for their own space, and they're going to be fine. So some people, it could be that you're going to be with us for a short time. Other people, they could be with you for a year, 18 months, 2 years, and then it could be time to start looking for something. So there's no pressure with that. If people are obviously adhering to the rules of living, absolutely, everybody is so individual.
It's
Absolutely.
not prescriptive, Paul, and it's not tick box, and it's not time led. Because some councils say, right, they can stay with you for 2 years, and we want them out in their own place. Well, a lot of people around here, I was in a meeting, and they were stamping their feet, saying, "How can you say that? Suddenly in 2 years, it's like you wave a magic wand and they're ready." They're not, and we say to, we'd say that to the council, and we say it to our residents. You don't need to move on unless you feel you're ready. And only when you feel you're ready, you need to move on. And you'll know when you're ready, and we'll support you in that. We'll help you. Because some people, I mean, there's been a couple of people recently, they're allowed to bid, so they start bidding on properties. Well, be careful what you wish for in life, or what you bid for, because you just might get it. Yeah. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for, you might get it. So one of our guys got offered a place. And he's like, "Oh, I don't want it." But thankfully, there was some other issues, and the council rescinded it and said, "Oh, we can't offer it you then, we've got to take it back."
Yeah.
But we said to him, "You don't need to go. You're obviously not ready yet, and you're doing great. And you can do an intern with us." And he's on the media team and doing great on the media team and doing really, really well. So there's no pressure to move on, but when you're ready to move on, we will help you move on, and you'll get a beautiful place. And you'll have everything like wow, 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 wow. But you'll deserve it because you've put some work in.
Absolutely.
And you've received the support and engaged with the support. And that's the key. It's like when people don't engage, and it's like, some organisers like, they're not engaging. And I'm like, well, do you reach out to them? Do you put a meal on? Have you got incentives like we have, like we do? And we'll always incentivise stuff. So if people don't engage with us, they really don't want to engage. And people who don't engage, they drop off. And they go and do something somewhere else and get hammered on drugs or drink or get with the wrong peer group. So when people don't, and it's part of the licence agreement that they've got to engage. And it's part of the housing benefit payment that they have to engage. If they're not engaging or receiving support, then they shouldn't really be with us. For one, according to the licence agreement and support plan, and for two, according to the housing benefit payment. So that's why it's really, really important. So you can have people stamping their feet and protesting and saying, excuse, blame shift. Well, you didn't come to support. Yeah. And of course, if there's reasonable reasons why they can't come to support,
that's different.
That's understandable. But when you're lying and making excuses and just going roughshod and going the other way, well, obviously it's not the place for you to be with us. And that's fine. And that's what it was like with the guy who evicted himself 2 weeks ago. It's like, because the police came, if we evict anybody and they're a bit airy or a bit resistant or a bit giving it the large, combative or whatever, we'll just call the police. We'll 999 it, and I encourage you guys, 999 it, if we're evicting people, and the police will come and support us in that eviction.
I think part of it is what I see is that people begin to not stick to the very simple house rules that there are. They're not big, they're not difficult, be in at a certain time, because it's about normal behaviour. Like if you were working, you need to be at home, don't you? Most people want to be in, watching a show at night, having a meal, winding down, ready for the next day. When you don't have a structured life, you don't have to get up in the morning and do that. People have erratic behaviour that they think is normal. Oh, I want to be up in the middle of the night going for a walk. Who's up in the middle of the night going for a walk?
Burglars.
People who shouldn't be out doing things. So it's like, again, when people start to argue for the negative or against sound judgment or
argue against licence agreement and
indeed, so argue against just the simple things that they're meant to do. But I want to do this. Well, that's fine. You can do that, but you can't do it here. So you're allowed to go. In fact, we're encouraging you to go. It's time to go. So nobody is forced to stay and do that. But when people begin to rally against sound judgment and sound structured life, there's something wrong and that they're not ready to embark upon supported housing and going in the right direction rather than the wrong one, which isn't helping them.
Can I ask a question about, could you say supported housing, you mean other organisations in the area that they link into afterwards, is that what you meant?
Oh, no, well, no, because we're supported housing, aren't we? So
Yeah,
that would be
we
us.
We offer
anyway.
supported housing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's defined and called. There are other organisations who do supported
What I
housing.
meant was, like you said before, some people, for them it's right to move on to live on their own, and some people not. Some people
Yeah.
they need to live with other people. Can you say a bit more about where they can move on to? Well, you mentioned the bidding, didn't you? You mentioned the bidding
Yes.
process.
Do you want me to talk more about the bidding process?
Or where they can go to.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I mean, people can either move on to independent living, and they'll do that through the bidding system on the housing options through Derbyshire Dales District Council, and they've got a few organisations linked in with them. A lot of stock they had, they've got it now. Begins with P, is it?
Platform.
Housing.
Platform have got loads. Guinness Trust, a few others. And that's independent living when people are ready to live independently. But we've moved people onto rehab. We sent a guy down to Cornwall on alcohol rehab, a young guy. I presume he's doing well. We haven't heard from him. We sent somebody to Lighthouse Homes in Rotherham who got evicted from us. This is an interesting story because he went on a bender, booze and medication and stuff, and antisocial behaviour and all that. So we had to evict, police got involved, we had to evict him. And we ended up taking him to the hospital, threatening suicide again. They only assessed him the morning after the alcohol had wore off. They kept him in hospital for a few days. And then he ended up getting put in Lighthouse Homes at Rotherham. But because he was still on the books of Derbyshire Dales District Council, he was still on the bidding on the list of local accommodation here, and so he's managed to get a place, but he's stayed clean since then, which is great, and he's doing very, very well.
He was offered one place.
He was
but
offered
he didn't
one
feel
place,
that was right.
refused it. I think you can have up to 3 refusals. He didn't want that, but he's accepted this other place, but he's been clean since that. It was obviously a wake-up call. He was in a terrible state, and that's worked out well. So there's all those different options, Paul, and good questions really. And if people get evicted from us and they are priority need, the local council have got a responsibility then to house them. Where will they end up? They might end up in a hostel, they might end up in a hotel or B&B, but these are often places where there's lots of other people on drugs, alcohol, full of crime. They're not good places to be. So, but that's the choices and decisions that people are making. They want to live that way. And the challenges for us with some of those people is we offer support, there's disciplinary in place, there's all this going on, but if it's their choice. Do they want to take support and go the right way, or do they want to live that way? And for people who live that way, we can't really stop them, and they're making those choices. And one line that somebody said, which really is good, that I'll use, because I don't like a lot of other lines they say and use, but they said, well, Terry, you're giving them the opportunity.
Yeah.
You've given them the opportunity, and that's all we can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the fine line with people who are especially on the edge of, like, you know.
And we could just be part of somebody's journey. And if they're not ready to move on, I think one thing you have to learn, and I probably learnt this from my own family and my own brother who had challenges, is you cannot change another person. It's a job of work changing yourself, not mind anything else. But you cannot invade somebody else's free will. And you could absolutely wear yourself to the bone. I'd even seen my parents do it, make themselves quite, stretched to their own capacity. But if that person is, sorry for the term, of hell-bent on going in one direction, no matter what care you provide for them, they'll still keep going in that direction. So you have to learn to cut off any codependency and release them and let them go.
Yes, that's a good point, because if you are enabling somebody with, antisocial behaviour, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, if you are curtailing to that behaviour and pussyfooting around that, if you like, and being led by that, you're codependent, and it's like that in any relationship.
Absolutely, and it can be easily done when you care and you love for someone. I remember reading a book many years ago of, it was Judy Garland's second daughter, Lorna Luft, and the whole family, bless their hearts, were stuffed full of drugs and alcohol due to being in the Hollywood, theme, if you scene, should I say, if you read any of that information. But I remember a story, I think it was about Liza Minnelli, and they'd taken her to the Betty Ford clinic, and they sit the families round, they chat to them about their family member, what's their issue. And so this one will say, I pay his rent because he'll be homeless. Or this person, well, I clean them up when whatever. And they'll go back round and they'll say, right, you need to stop paying the rent. Stop enabling this person, because when you cover continually for people, they're never faced with themselves, that they don't wake up covered in whatever, or they don't this, whatever it is for each person. And then because it's shameful for the families, and it's hard to face the bare bones of this person in your family that is just absolutely a mess. And I think that's the hardest thing for either parents or family, just to say, I've done everything I can do now, I've got to let go, and you've got to choose. And that's for all of us. We all choose the life that we have, regardless of situations and circumstances. You can read, can't you, about people going through the worst of circumstances, yet look at people like Nelson Mandela. This is a bit off-piste here. But he was in prison all those years and then became president of South Africa. But there was a change that obviously occurred in that man. He could never have done that, and that's probably quite a big jump. But we have to make those tiny steps. He
remained sweet, didn't
he remained sweet.
He
forgave his captors as well. So whatever you faced, whatever difficulty, there's always an opportunity for change and your life to get better.
That's good. And just to emphasise, we've moved 3 people on really positively, doing great. And at the minute, the community is very balanced and everybody's doing great. We've got people involved, taking leadership roles, getting involved in the media, the housekeeping, leading and training and oversight as well as involved in it. All manner of things. We've got a couple of people going to the Woodland next week, which is positive and great. We've got Christmas coming up. We'll do a lot of outreaches, and our residents get involved in the community stuff we do. They get involved in the food bank, so taking your eyes off yourself, helping other people, helping the community. We're going to have some major Christmas events, outreaches, giveaways, toys, food hampers, fun, cash cards. It's going to be amazing. We've got loads of amazing stuff coming up. We're doing a Christmas stall at the Christmas market. We have our Leading Ladies, which is a ladies group. It's a good name, isn't it? Leading Ladies. What do? They eat cake and drink coffee.
and talk.
They just talk all over.
We're quite good. Ladies need to talk sometimes.
Talk it out, smile.
Absolutely.
I just want to add something about the food bank, because I'll say briefly, it's something that was on my heart for a long time. If you might say that it had been put there by God. And then out of the blue, Terry mentioned to me that there was an opportunity with the Chesterfield Food Bank. So I said, yeah, okay. So now what that has done is, on a Wednesday I go and collect food, bring like a van full of food back to our house. My wife puts it on the Facebook group for the local area. We've got people in poverty, in cost of living crisis victims in Chesterfield, who it's opening conversations up with these people in our own home. It's developing and snowballing into a ministry of its own. That's off the back of River Network being in there at the Lidl in Chesterfield.
That's great, that's really great.
And we've got a Chesterfield posse now growing.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've got Paul, Bev and Gemma. You'll meet Gemma next week, next Friday, which will be great.
That'll be good.
Yeah, and we have a food bank that feeds into our project here and to local community in Matlock as well.
The housing projects, they get food bank dropped off on a Thursday night, they get food bank dropped off on a Friday night. So we've got a really great programme, really.
We do.
So we link in with a school in a deprived part of Chesterfield, the Chesterfield Football Club, and a food bank in Dunstan.
Brilliant.
Because there's so much food that's just going into landfill.
Exactly.
That's a very good
And are
point.
you taking the cage now, Paul?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm taking the cage, but I remember to unlock it first
That's good.
because
Bum.
then
Then you can put the cage back.
Be banging your hand against it.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, I'm saying that because we get loads of...
Tinned goods and
No,
things like that. Oh,
well,
sorry.
We get loads of breads and pastries and all that.
Perishable food.
that
Yeah.
They're giving away. And around Christmas time, they even let us in the freezer in there.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
we get all kinds of amazing stuff.
I'm not going in there again.
But then there's also a
Too big.
cage near where people donate. So Paul
Yeah.
wasn't getting that at first, but he is now, so I'm very happy about that.
It
So
is.
good.
We're very blessed.
And any questions, any comments? Was that all right? Was that a lot?
Really good.
Was that a lot to take in, or was that okay?
No, I think you summarised it really well.
That was good.
Good.
Good. Can you give us a big
Yeah.
round of applause?
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
everything that you want to know about the housing or our charity is all at rivernetworkcharity.org.uk. We've got a church connected as well, and a lot of our people go to the church on a Sunday.
Yeah.
They help with setup, media, coffee shop, food bank, everything there as well. It starts at 11, the service. We start setup at 10. And that's at rivernetworkchurch.org.uk. So it's very simple to find us. And we're a bit like the Salvation Army, I'd say. We're a church and a charity, but two separate brands
Yeah.
doing
But better
separate
clothes
things.
than the Salvation Army.
Better
Modern day.
clothes. We've not got-
Gangster shoes. Spats. Wonderful. Well, it's good night from Jill,
And it's good night from Terry.
and it's good night from,
Paul, good night.
and it's good night from,
Bev, good night.
and it's good night from her.
And him. And everyone else.
Blessings.